guys, welcome back. So today we're out at the range with the new FN509 Tactical. I didn't know if I was going to get to do a video with this or not, but we got one into copper I didn't know was coming to us, and when I saw it up on the wall, I snatched it because I did want to make a video with it. So that's how I came into possession of the 509. We got it in at Copper Custom. I did put a Trijicon red dot sight. This is an old Gen 1 sight I had laying around. I did go ahead and mount that up to the gun. So what is the 509? Well, the 509 is the original gun that was kind of sort of the version that was submitted to the XM17 program. And they released it to the civilian market. I believe we did a gauntlet test on that handgun. So we've done a video previously on the 509. Well, the tactical version brings a few other features to the handgun. First of all, we have a 4.5-inch stainless steel cold hammer forged barrel that is now threaded 1/2x28 to accept a suppressor. It does come with a knurled protector that you can screw onto that 1/2x28 thread if you don't want to run it suppressed. This low profile mounting system is one of the things that FN is claiming makes this gun special. They claim that they've gotten this lower than any other industry factory mount. I don't know if that's true or not, but it certainly sets low enough where you can run suppressor sight height or height sights on the gun and get a perfect lower third co-witness through the RDS or red dot sight. So you can also swap out these plates and it will allow you to run 10 different optics currently, with future support possible for new sights that may come to the market, because all you have to do is swap out the adapter plate. Not a new concept, it's been done before, but FN says that theirs is lower than everybody else's. And if you take a look at it, it's a pretty thin plate. So you won't have to do any more machine processes to your slide to make it compatible with future red dot sights. Now it does come with a 1913 rail, so I have a Surefire X300 on the gun, and this is a Black Hawk Mini Boss. We got some of these in at Copper Custom. They've been discontinued, but I had to grab a couple of them for myself. They're only a little over 300 bucks when we were blowing them out. I think we may still have a couple in stock, and really guys, all this is a silencer co Omega 9K with a sleeve over it. The baffles are welded together, and it has this sleeve over it, making it just slightly larger in diameter than the Omega 9K, but it gives the same performance. And they were manufactured by Silencer Co. for Black Hawk, and it uses Silencer Co. Accessories. So we have the booster on here, which is a Silencer Co. accessory. So anyway, other than that, and its flat dark earth colors, there's not a whole lot different between this and the 509 we've already talked about. Now, the guns do ship with two 24-round magazines, which they say are about the same length as the slide, which makes it easy to pack into a case. So the magazines are the same length as the slide. I never heard that as a standard before, but that's what they mention on the website when you look the gun up. So you have 24 rounds, you have mini happy sticks, and then it also will accept standard 17-round 509 magazines. So these are not proprietary magazines. When you put the 24-rounder into the gun, it almost makes you think it should be a submachine gun because it's so stinking big. But 24 rounds of 9mm is nothing to scoff at. The red dot sight, I really do think, is the future of handguns. I talked about that in my Walther Q4 TAC video. I really do think this is the way of the future. So red dot sights are here to stay, and we're a little over 50 yards. Yeah, there's the tree. We're a little over 50 yards from our challenge target, and we're shooting some 115 grain new LAX 9mm ammo out of the 509. So let's fire off a few rounds here. A little high. Ooh, look at that, guys. We got a malfunction. We have shot the gun before, earlier today. It didn't quite kick that one out. Now we do have problems with the subsonics running the can, so this may be related to the suppressor and the booster. With subsonics, we'll show you, the gun simply doesn't work. So I can tell the bullets are hitting all over downrange, and I know why. They put an O-ring on the barrel, and FN says that's so the cans won't back off, which is hogwash. I'll walk over here and grab my little powered by silencer shop mitten. And this is why direct thread cans suck. Watch when I tighten this thing up, just how little it's come loose from the barrel. Look when I turn it. Now it's snug again. That little bit of looseness, just 1/8 of an inch of rotation, makes the gun shoot all over the place. And that's true of any 9mm from a sub gun to a pistol. When that can just backs off just a little bit, accuracy goes out the window. So I was wondering why it's hitting all over the place down range. Now it's going to be back on steel. If I can do my work. It's not locking open. So I'm thinking that this can is the issue. So let's take a look at what comes in the flat dark earth case that the gun ships in. I'm gonna go ahead and take the suppressor off and put the thread suppressor on it, or thread protector on it. I've been having a tough time speaking English today, guys. And I think it's I'm rubbing off on Jason because he has been too. I'm burning my thumb, but that's the only way to get that off quickly. All right, so inside you will find additional grip panels. So the 509 Tactical is no different than the standard 509 in that regard. You're going to find a whole bunch of mounting plate options, a quick setup guide explaining how to use the mounting system and what each of the little plates will do and what sights they're compatible with, your owner's manual for the gun, all that good stuff, and a safety lock. And what's this? The F09, I didn't even see this before. Your 509 Tactical ships with 2 recoil spring assemblies, 1 silver and 1 yellow. The factory installed silver spring is optimized for duty self-defense and other standard powered ammunition, as well as for shooting standard and lower powered ammunition with the suppressor. The silver recoil spring assembly will function with most ammunition. However, if your ammunition fails to cycle the slide, please follow the instructions in your owner's manual to properly install the yellow reduced force assembly, or try standard powered ammunition. So this is a reduced force spring. Now maybe the gun will run. I didn't know that was in there. I didn't even see that mentioned on the website. But the gun may run with subsonics now. Maybe that's why. Now, if you go back to my original 509 video when we were talking about it during the gauntlet, I said the gun was oversprung. It has a very heavy spring. And I just assumed because I had read that the XM17 program required an ammunition type that was much hotter than your standard 9mm ball. And I assumed that FN just left that heavier spring in the gun, and that's probably why it was having problems cycling. It just seemed oversprung. Well, this kind of confirms that guess because they're including a reduced power recoil spring with the 509. So we'll throw that in there and we'll see if the gun performs better with the silencer. Now this is the plate that you can, if you take your red dot sight off, you can put this plate on, and what it will do is protect the rear sight. It's a protective wing, and it has serrations on the front of it, and that's presumably to protect your rear sight in harsh conditions, like if you drop the pistol. Well, that's great for protecting your rear sight, but what about your front sight? It's unprotected. So I don't know if that's a gimmick or what. I don't see much use for that. Just kind of looks cool, probably. All right, and then we should have, there's my thread protector I need. And did I only get one additional back strap? Usually it comes with a small, medium, and large. That's a small, it looks like. Looks like I have a medium on the gun. And either I lost my other back strap or it didn't come with one. All right, so that's everything that's in the little flat dark earth bag that the 509 ships in. One of these days I'll get that thing to thread on there. So we'll put that reduced power spring in this gun, and then we'll go back to shooting it with the standard powered ammunition, running the can, and we'll try some subsonics and see if it works. I went ahead and installed the reduced spring pressure recoil spring, the gold one, so you can see it there, and loaded up some subsonic ammunition. And we do have the booster on the can. And we were not able to get the gun to cycle subsonic ammo still. It seems to be trying now. Sometimes it'll kick the case out, but it won't pick up another round. See, it's trying. It's a lot better than it was before we put the reduced power spring in it. Now we got a real problem. All right, go ahead and fix this problem here really quick. All right. See, it's trying. Almost there. But close only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and nuclear weapons. Close again. And then we got a double feed. So it picked up another round. It didn't quite kick out the round or the spent case before it, but it managed to pick up another round. But it's just not kicking that spent case out far enough. So it's almost functioning, but not quite there. That can's coming loose again. Yeah, so much for the O-ring and so much for the reduced power spring. See how it kicked that one out, but it just didn't quite pick up the next round. Kicked that one out, didn't quite pick up the next one. I think the more ammunition that's in the magazine, the more pressure on the slide, and the less likely it is to operate as we start to run out of ammo. It starts to try a little harder to function, but guys, it's just not going to work, even with the reduced power spring. So, yeah, a little bit disheartening. The FNX series of pistols generally feel really good. They have full ambi controls, so you don't have to switch out the magazine release for right or left-handed use. It just works from both sides. You also have a slide stop slide release that's present on both sides of the pistol. So the ergonomics on the gun feel really, really good. FN started off this series of handguns with a hammer-fired version, then they went to the striker-fired version, and now we have the tactical 509, which was obviously submitted to the XM17 program. At least a close copy of this. If I'm not mistaken, XM17 program required the gun to have a manual safety. Now, I've seen the manual safety on the Glocks that were submitted. Glock took the manual safety off for the 19X, and I believe the FN series had a manual safety, but I can't recall now if I've ever seen a picture of the XM17 submission with a manual safety or not. But this is supposed to be the version of the gun that was, to be adopted by the U.S. military if it had won the trials. So it feels really good, shoots really good. Being striker fired, has a bit of a heavy trigger. The face of the trigger is rounded. It's not a flat face trigger, so it's a little bit awkward if you're used to a flat face trigger. It feels round. It's not a bad feeling, it's just a different feeling. And like I said, the trigger's just a little bit heavy. Brakes over travel. Fairly long reset, but it's not a horrible reset. I'll show you what that looks like. So here's bang, and reset is right there. That's full release, and then bang. So it has a decent trigger. It's not a PPQ, it's not a VP9 in terms of trigger quality, but it's still a very shootable trigger. I'm not going to get into the field stripping of the 509. It's no different than previous videos of the 509s or the FNSs or the FNXs. The only difference being, of course, is this threaded barrel. to get the barrel out of the slide, you have to take the thread protector off. Other than that, taking it apart is very, very simple and been done 1,000 times already, so I'm not going to bore you with it. Here we go with the 24 round magazine. We've moved a little bit closer. I think we've got the sights a little bit better adjusted on the RMR. And now we're going to do a little bit of shooting at closer range, about 15 yards. Oops, it didn't lock open, and I had a horrendous flinch. That's horrible. Let's see if I can stop from doing that. All right, and it locked open that time. I think the failure to lock open was probably me, although that slide stop is pretty far out of the way. I don't typically ride the slide stop on the FN series of pistols, but yeah, we still have that light spring in it. I don't think it's short stroked. I think it's just me, but we'll try one more magazine to find out. All right, I think it was just me. Got a lead shaving back on my arm. It landed right there. Anyway, so yeah, the gun shoots nice. I like the suppressor height sights, and just generally, it's a nice gun. It does have night sights on it, so you'll see a big white dot on the front, and then you just have two little tritium vials in the back, which are really only there for use at night. Otherwise, you just have a black face for the most part during the daylight hours and a big white dot in the front. So really the only important thing at close range handgun fighting is getting that big white dot on the target. But if you're running an RMR, you don't even have to worry about it. But it does help having the RMR on there, because that little red dot sets right on top of the sights, and it's a quick reality check just to make sure that your red dot is still centered to your sights. If you bring the gun up and the dot is way out of whack with the iron sights, either the red dot's off or the sights are off. So it'll make you want to check or force you to check your pistol to make sure that everything's still zeroed out. So it's a good shooting little gun. And I like the way it looks with its two-tone finish. It's kind of normal. Seems like everybody that does FDE, I think FN started it with multicolored FDE guns, and it just kind of continues on. To the point where we actually had a customer at Copper Custom send a gun into us, and they wanted it painted like a scar in multiple different colors of FDE. They're making that kind of cool, they being FN. The FN 509 Tactical comes to market at right around $870 to $899, depending on where you find it, either online or at your local gun shop. The guns come with everything you see here, with the exception of the red dot sight and the flashlight. You do get a nice little flat dark earth bag, of course, all the stuff I showed you earlier in the video. And is it a good deal? I mean, that's all relative. It seems to be competitive with other pistols on the market that have similar features, so I don't think it's overpriced. The problems that we're having with the silencer could just be it doesn't like that particular silencer. Now, we haven't had that problem with that can on other pistols, but who knows? It might just be this gun and that can combo that don't like each other. We have run the light Gold Spring throughout the video with 115 grain LAX ammunition. The only problem I've had is failures to lock back. I don't know if that's user error or problems with the gun. I think I'm keeping my thumb away from it, but who knows? Probably user error. I don't typically have that problem with the FN 509 handgun, but we'll see. The guns, of course, have the replaceable back straps, all that cool guy stuff that you'd want in a gun like this. So if you guys are looking for a suppressor host, hopefully this one makes a good one. I can't really tell. We're going to try some different cans on it. If you're looking for a flat dark earth tactical handgun that accepts a red dot sight, the 509's in the game, guys. It's not a bad handgun. I actually kind of like it. I just wish it would have worked with the suppressor this afternoon. That, and I wish I would have brought other cans. I'm going to learn something eventually. Bring multiple things to the range with you. So this is our first shots video. So these are the first few hundred rounds you've seen fired out of the gun. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed seeing the 509 in action. If you guys would like to support us here at the Military Arms Channel, the best way to do that is to become a Patreon supporter. There is a link down below. Follow that link. You'll see the incentives, and hopefully you guys will choose to support the channel. Also, you can support us by swinging by Forge from Freedom and picking up one of our shirts. That also directly supports us here at the Military Arms Channel, as we do not take any money from anyone in the industry. So we're 100% viewer supported. We don't speak English very well today. Me and Jason both are stumbling all over our words. We don't know what it is, and I don't even drink alcohol. All right, that, and please swing by and check us out at Copper Custom, guys. All right, we're going to check out with the last 24 round magazine, and we'll see you guys soon. Huh. At 50 yards, not doing too bad. It's a very shootable little gun. We'll see you guys later.